So today we are sintering silicon carbide with some additives. Obviously, if you can tell from the condition of my microwave, this is not the first time, or the second time, or the 20th time. Anyway, if you ever decide to do this, it does need some additives to work correctly. I'm not entirely sure I'm willing to disclose that just because the temperatures are quite insane. It gets up to about 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. 1100, 1200 Celsius inside, and you need some You need some refractory stuff in there to contain the heat correctly. Like that tile was intact when I started, and I'm sure it's super duper toasty in there. Anyway, silicon carbide, as you may or may not realize, wait a second please, refracts and absorbs, or it doesn't refract, it absorbs microwave energy and refracts it, reflects it, however you want to describe it, as heat. So if you put it inside a microwave and you insulate it inside of a refractive material, it gets really, 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 really hot. And if you put some material additives in there which can absorb and help out, you can make a silicon carbide part. And once I figure out if this is actually the good batch or not, I've put some new stuff to experiment with in there. If successful, I will share all of that with you. Thanks for looking. We'll see you in the next one. Just a very quick update here, and I'm sure I put it all together on the same video. If you happen to decide to do this in your microwave, I'm pretty sure I just killed this one from maybe thermal protection. I haven't plugged it back in yet, but it's been about 6 hours is how long it took these to cool down, to get them down to a touchable level, or at least reach in there. For some reason I can't find my little ceramic tongs. Either way, I don't know if I put it on the video earlier, but this maxed out on the outside at 514 degrees Celsius, so I'm sure that got crazy hot. This one I just happened to put in after the fact. It's still a little bit soft, so I was just trying to drive out some of the solvent stuff I put in there to get it liquidy. And this one I will run another day because the mold is still wet. But yeah, gets really hot. Doesn't smell very good at first till the some of the components burn off. After that, it just gets crazy hot. So make sure you have a ceramic tile of some sort to cover the top. I'm sure this had a little bit of moisture in it, which I had to add some moisture so I could pour it, obviously. But probably would have been a better idea to let it dry out naturally. Just let it come through the ceramic here. But I was just kind of in a hurry and I was already outside working on stuff, so this one will probably not crack, I'm assuming, after I do it correctly. And if it does, it just helps you get the part out of your mold anyway. But these were actually just tests. I just kind of formulated a mix, mostly silicon carbide and some other stuff. A couple of fluxes to help it move and should help it lower the melting point and such. And if you're in a ceramics, you can probably figure out what's in it anyway. But I will make everything public as soon as I figure out if the parts are actually tough enough, because I don't know. I've gotten very close, and then I made a couple breakthroughs, and the parts are really hard, but then I go to stress test it, and they just crumble in my hand. So the outside gets extremely hard, but then the inside doesn't cure correctly. Like that one I had on the grill the other day. Outside was extremely hard, went to go stress test it, and it was all powdery on the inside. So obviously I need to get the fusing part down. So I figured sintering in the microwave would do a much better job than just hitting with a torch. And by all outward appearances, I mean, this is pretty hard. Obviously, test mixture, nothing was formulated to parts. I just kind of put stuff together and eyeballed it to make sure it looks all halfway decent. I really just wanted to make sure the ceramic or the silicon carbide heated up as the way I expected it would. I've done all kinds of experiments in this. I did all kinds of graphene experiments a couple years ago, so I'm not sad that I killed it, but it's got a couple holes in the back in there anyway. I'm not sure how safe that is. That's why I put it out in the middle of my yard just to make sure. Anyway, if you go to like a thrift store or something, usually you'll get these really cheap. I think this is probably one of our old ones that we upgraded to and dedicated to a science microwave. So go thrift shopping or use an old one. Anyhow, I will let you know again after I break some of those open and see how they look. If I find another cheap microwave at Goodwill, we'll do some more processing, and we'll go from there. Take care, y'all.